Welcome, everybody. This is another episode of Pickles House. Get that pH balance in your life, baby. Hell yeah. I am Pickle, and I am here with a very special guest today, my boy Kyle Wigginton.
What's up, man?
What's happening, my brother?
Dude, you see it, man. Just enjoying this beautiful place you guys have here.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, this is amazing.
It is great. I'm excited to be in the new studio. And Kyle actually helped me start Pickles House in another bar. And I really appreciate that, man. It's been 8 episodes, and we got into a real studio.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole thing about what we were trying to do at another bar too, is trying to use it as a launching platform for artists. So I mean, you guys are proof.
Yeah.
Like, you're exactly what we wanted to happen. Like, I knew you weren't going to be there forever doing podcasts because you're all way too talented to be like in a bar doing a podcast. So I'm so happy that like this has come to fruition.
Happened quick too, quicker than any of us thought.
That's why, like, the other day when you told me about it, I was like, what? I was like, I mean, this guy was just basically like sitting here waiting on talent to fall into his lap.
Right.
So I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I thank you so much for putting me on at another bar. We still gonna have another bar as a sponsor. I really appreciate another bar as a sponsor. So if you keep watching, we're gonna end up doing like another bar giveaway packets.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So thank you, another bar. And I also still run a mic every Tuesday at another bar. That you guys are open mic. If you want to try comedy, come on out. It's a great place. For Red Street, you at another bar. Come hang out with us. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Kyle Wigginton.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah.
What's up, man? You're an artist yourself, but let's get into your early life, man. Growing up, where are you from?
Oh, I grew up in Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Yeah, a little bitty town in Arkansas. It's about 2,000 people.
I'm pretty sure I got a warrant for my arrest there right now.
I think you do, too. Yeah. We were talking about that one time, and I don't know if, like, is that... Whenever you go back there, will you really get arrested for this?
I mean, if I don't go take care of the stuff and I get pulled over.
Yeah, so just stay out of Arkansas, right?
I mean, I want to go get it taken care of. I don't want to be doing a show one day and then get pulled over and they're like, hey, buddy, we're going to fucking arrest you and ship you to Arkansas because you didn't pay a speeding, no license. No.
Well, hopefully by then you'll just be so famous that they'll be like, go on, give us an autograph, get out of here.
I'm not, fame, it almost seems like it's inevitable if you're going to be successful today in this business, which sucks because I've never been one to actually want to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to survive and live, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I do love what I'm doing now. I do love it.
Well, it's funny, too, because, you see a lot of these comedians that are really successful, and they've had these really shitty lives in the very beginning. Yeah. So, for instance, Joey Diaz, he had drugs and everything in his life before that, but then he became famous. The same way with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, like, he had a hard life growing up too.
Yeah, definitely, man.
You think it has to be that way?
I don't know, but I definitely know it was kind of that way. It wasn't a shitty life, but it was an unconventional lifestyle. I was a drug dealer for a long time. I've been through a bunch of stuff. Divorced with my parents. It wasn't like my parents were hippies. They weren't always there. I kind of raised myself a little bit.
Right.
Like they were there to feed if I needed food or something like that, which I kind of like bounced around to my friends' houses anyway and ate over there. Yeah. Or slept over there. But yeah, it was I don't know. I think being a comic or maybe an artist in general, you have to have some kind of trauma in your life or been through some crazy stuff.
Right. You got to have something to say, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Growing up in Arkansas, how was that?
Dude, my life, honestly, it wasn't that bad.
No?
Yeah, it wasn't. But I think it was the fact that I grew up in a very safe place, in a very small town, very small community. Yeah. That set me up for my failure. So, for instance, whenever I left the state of Arkansas, this little bitty small place where everyone knew each other.
How old were you when you left?
I just graduated school, so I was 18.
Okay.
Went to Tennessee to play basketball for school.
Did you have good grades in school?
I had really good grades in school, yeah. So I was like the ideal student in school, played basketball, did all that good stuff. But it was whenever I graduated college and started working in my degree field that I was kind of like, wait a second, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
But it took and that was the moment that everyone was still telling me, go down this path, go down this path. Right. But for some reason, my brain wouldn't let me do that. And I started going downhill.
Yeah.
So that was when my tragic period started.
When you mean go downhill, what was this journey of downhill?
It was just the fact that
you started on top of the hill.
Yeah. So like you go to school, you graduate, you get your degree, you start working in your degree field. You're like on top of the game right there.
What was your degree field?
It was in IT.
Okay.
So computer information technology.
Okay.
So I started working for a school as an IT guy, and it was just.
What school were you working for?
I was at Jonesboro Public School. So it was one of the biggest public schools in Arkansas. So, I mean, it was a nice little job. But for some reason, my brain just wouldn't let me. It's like, this is not where you should be.
Yeah.
This is something about this is wrong.
Yeah.
And whenever I started looking into it is when the downhill area started coming, because everyone was coming at me going, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you questioning everything? And then finally I was like, I'm just going to quit my job.
Yeah.
So I quit my job, started working in the restaurants again.
Okay. What did you do there?
Just serving in restaurants. Same thing I did when I was in school.
You look like a server. I'm not going to lie. You look like you definitely were a server in a restaurant.
Oh, bro, I killed it in the restaurants too, yeah. I did, what was that, Ruby Tuesdays for a while, Olive Garden for a bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then when I finally got enough of it, I went into fine dining.
I used to love Olive Garden when I was a kid.
Dude, Olive Garden's the shit, man. It's the shit.
Breadsticks and salad.
Yeah.
Dude.
But then I went into fine dining, and I was like, screw this.
Yeah.
Like, I hate everyone. All people. I was like, I hate all people.
That's what fine dining will do to you.
It will, man.
In the front of the house and the back of the house.
Yeah.
I was a chef for over 10 years of my life.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I mean, the back of the house, those guys are insane.
Yeah, we
In
are.
front of the house, people are insane too, but they just hide it better.
Yeah, they do. They have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all suppress the shit out of that. And then y'all come to the back of the house and y'all start screaming at us, and we're like, no, fuck that. Fuck that. Get out the kid. Go find another corner to scream at each other.
Oh, especially in fine dining, dude. Like, you don't come to the back and talk to the chef. No.
We don't want nothing to do with that. What comes out your mouth?
And then from that area right there, I was like, I need something else. And I lucked into a modeling gig in Arkansas.
Pretty motherfucker.
Dude, I was the body for Dillard's, Dillard's Clothing Company.
Stop it.
I was the body. If you looked online anytime,
Stop it,
I swear to God, man, it's crazy. Yeah. It's nuts. And then, so I was like, I love this. I love what I'm doing right now. I love this modeling stuff. But I was like, I know that I'm not going to look this good forever. So I was like, what can I do for longevity in the game?
Yeah.
And that's how I got into film.
Okay.
And then film brought me to New Orleans. And then I lucked into the bar, got that gig at the bar. So it's a pretty nice gig there.
Yeah. I like the living situation you told me. Like, you found a place there for artists.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, that's fire, man. Like,
yeah,
if I had to pay rent, I would.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, when I first moved to New Orleans, we were just in like a house with a couple other actors and stuff.
Yeah.
And, years went by, and then we got in this other living situation. It's like a lofts for artists. And there's a gym there. There's all kinds of other artists that are around us. There's actually a sound room there that we can record things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's basically set up for the arts, if you're in the arts.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
But yeah, man. But along the lines of what I was saying earlier, with what led me down this path was just the fact that when I looked around and started questioning life and questioning this matrix that we live in, was like, why are we working for 40 years of our life, and not ever questioning what's going on?
Right.
Why are we paying taxes and just like throwing them to the wind?
It really is like a matrix especially when you break out onto another side of it. Like when I went from working into restaurants, because I was great, you know what I mean? When I went from working in there and to like being a stand-up comedian and starting to find myself on stage and find myself for real who I am, I was like starting to open my eyes. Like it really takes the blinders off. Yeah. On the other side of the spectrum, might I say it like that. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like, because people, they don't see it until they do it.
Well, I think it's because the matrix is all in your mind.
Yeah.
So if you think about where we go to school and stuff, we go to school and they teach us our entire life that this is the way the system works. Yeah. This is the way the system works. And then when you start trying to break out of the system, they can't fathom that you're breaking out of the system because that's in their mind. They're ingrained where if I don't pay my taxes, someone's going to come and get me. Yeah. And, that could be possible. But at the same time, it's like...
Definitely could be.
How do you know?
Right.
Like, you just do it every year religiously. You don't actually know what's going to happen.
Right. Take 10 years off.
Yeah.
See
what happens.
You know? Take a few years off.
Take a few years off. Let me know. You guys call me. Let me know.
I will. I'll let you know.
Yeah. But no. So it's one of the things I was saying earlier about. We were talking about this before the podcast. Is you said everything in my life is almost too good to be true.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and it's weird, bro. I lived like a fucking crazy life, and all of a sudden, like, I started going down this comedy path, and it got to a certain point now to where it's like all coming on full circle. And it's like, holy shit, everything used to be real fucking shitty, and now it's like so good that it's too good to be true. You know, like, you ever been in the situation where you don't know if it's real yet? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've definitely been in those situations, and before I understood the universe and how it worked on a different level, I was the same way. I was like, don't accept these things because what if it doesn't? What if it is too good to be true, kind of a thing.
Right.
But I've also noticed that, everything around us is energy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, energy moves in waves.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at your life as just an energy wave, okay, when you have downs, okay, a down has to equate to an up at the same level. So you've had a shitty life in the beginning. If you just take your life and look at it on a scale, then you've had this down right here, then you have to come back up.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of these very successful people, they've had shitty lives because they've experienced those downs that are really low, and the universe has to equal itself back out by bringing that person back up.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So if you have these people that they never break out, you have these people that never break out of like their rut in life. They live a very like neutral life. There's no peaks or valleys.
Right.
So they're just going along neutral. Sure, it's going to be like just a very bland ride.
Going along with the narrative.
Yeah, but if you're breaking out of the system and you're like having these ups and downs of life, and you have downs that are really low, then you're going to have ups that are really high.
Yeah, and I see it coming around right now. It's nice. It's nice to be in a good spot in life.
Yeah.
And figuring it out on a different level.
Right.
I love it, man. I do. I appreciate you helping me. Dude, get that thing going, bro.
Well, that's also, one of the keys to life is whenever you find something that you're good at, use that to boost other people up.
Definitely. Kyle's one of the biggest supporters of artists I've gotten the pleasure to meet in the scene. He's also putting on podcasts. What's your podcast name?
Oh, it's Another Podcast.
Another Podcast out of another bar.
That's right.
And hell yeah, it's a good podcast. I'm on one of the episodes. Y'all should definitely go check it out.
Hell yeah. Now, one of my things that I've realized in this journey is that my ability with like computers is something that I've had from day one. Yeah. So I'm using that to learn these softwares and learn how to edit these things so I can help these other artists out that have no, computer knowledge.
Like me.
Dude,
I'm so stupid.
I don't want to put Pickle on blast
you
here.
You can put me on blast, bro. I am not good. I'm not tech savvy.
So the first day that I was sitting down with a computer, I had this old computer and I gave it to Pickle. I was like, here you go. You can use this to like, edit your podcast and stuff. And we sit down and he's like, oh, man. I was like, what's up, Pickle? He's like, how do I log into YouTube? I was like, oh, Pickle. I was like, this is gonna be a long journey.
I can get into YouTube now. He showed me how to do all kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's learning though. He's learning, man.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. A little bit of learning.
Look, and that's what I'm good for that. I'm like a blank slate that's willing to learn.
That's right. That's what a lot of people who are super educated, they don't want to learn anything new.
Right.
But you get these people that like they're blank slates, and it's like, yeah, teach me something.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. Like, or people get complacent into doing things in one way, and they're like, all right, this is the way I know how to do it, and we're gonna keep it this way.
Right.
And it has to continue into this cycle forever.
Yeah.
And that is a dangerous spot to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you're such a good host of mics. Is because you're such a fluid person.
Yeah. Like
you get up on the mic, the guy who just went on and he told a joke about, I don't know, pussy or something. You have a comeback for that as soon as you get up on the mic. Or last night, there was somebody that told a joke about getting his dick sucked or something. I don't know what it was. But you jumped on and you had something for it right there.
Yeah, man. It's just doing so many mics. And that room, too, bro. That room is a special room. It's always been a special room, even when everybody, like, Corey Mack ran that room.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Quiroz ran that room. Marcus Bond ran that room. And I'm running that room now.
It's crazy, right?
That's a list of names right there.
That's a big list of names.
That's a big list of names right there, dude. Like, and it's like that is it's like that room right there. If you get that room, it breeds greatness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love it so much. And I've been doing it since I was real shitty at comedy.
Yeah.
So I've seen it go through a bunch of phases. And I'm glad I got it to where, like, I can get in there and just riff now.
Yeah.
You know? And like you said, like, if somebody, or I could just fuck with people in the audience, riff with them and have a good time and get laughs and pull laughs out of the people in ways. I love it. That room helped me grow so much.
Oh, it's been such a blessing for not just me, but for everyone.
Yeah.
And whenever the new guy bought the building, he was wanting to turn it into a sports bar. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, this bar, it might work as a sports bar, but at the same time, it's right now the way it is with the neighborhood. Like, this place it's everyone's living room.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a neighborhood bar.
Mm-hmm.
People go home, and if they want to do something, they walk around the corner to another bar.
Yeah, it's got that vibe, man.
Or like kids from Tulane. It's a big Tulane spot too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get a lot of people from Tulane in there.
Yeah.
And it's always rotating. And yeah, it should definitely keep it the way it was.
Oh yeah.
The way it is. You know. What's you got anything cool? Any projects you're working on?
Dude, I keep this revolving door of projects.
Let's talk about the one you have, the app, the government app.
Oh yeah, no, this is a huge one right here.
Because let me say this first. It's very interesting. Like, I'm not big on political stuff, you know, but this. He broke this down to me one day, and I was like, holy shit, this kind of needs to get out there.
It does, yeah. So I'm glad you're asking me about that.
It.
Yeah, so I guess it was 3 or 4 years ago now, whenever the government first came in and shut down the bar. I don't do politics at all either.
2020?
2020, 2019, something like that.
Yeah.
Whenever they shut us down.
It's
I hate politics too, with a passion. But as soon as they shut us down, I was like, okay, now I need to look into this. Because my whole thing with politics is, like, I'm a pretty laid back guy. I was like, if they can't affect me, then I don't give a shit. Like, politicians can do whatever they want to, as long as it doesn't affect my life.
Yeah.
But when it started affecting my life, I was like, okay, let's look into the system. So I started looking into the system, and I realized where the spot was that there was that it was broken, essentially, and that's Congress.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's the lack of oversight by the people on Congress. So the fact that no one has a clue what they're doing at any time ever, that's a major problem, because they're literally passing bills that put money in their pockets and take away from the people. Yeah. So I said, well, there's a simple solution to this, is we utilize this new technology coming out called the blockchain. Now, people are scared of this. People aren't scared of this because they don't understand it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, this technology is going to revolutionize the way we do a lot of things on this planet. And one of the key features of it is the fact that it's fully transparent. Okay, so that means that if you have a system that's built the right way, no one can dive into it and take it over because everyone sees everything that goes on.
Right.
So one of the key features that we can do to regulate the government is we can build an app that goes on your phone. Every time Congress goes to vote on something, it comes to your app first, okay? And it works just like one of the dating apps where you swipe right or left, yes or no. So you read the
I want weed. Yes, I want.
You could do that, yeah. Should weed be legal? That could be the bill. And you could simplify the bills, too, so it doesn't have to be like a million pages for one little bill it goes through. That's how they hide shit in the bills.
Right.
So you have a thing that pops up, should weed be legal? You swipe right for yes, because everyone thinks weed should be legal. Stupid that it's not. And then it doesn't account for anything in your phone, but what it does is that acts as an accountability measure for the way the politicians should vote.
Okay.
So, for instance, whenever the politicians go vote after that, we can compare the two, and you can see where the politicians that are voting for the people and which ones aren't voting for the people.
I like that.
Yeah, so it basically shows you which politicians are getting paid off for votes and which ones are actually working for the people.
That's clever.
Yeah, and this the reason the blockchain comes into this is because there are things called smart contracts.
Yeah.
Okay, these smart contracts, once they're built, they're on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Okay, and these things work basically as a vending machine. So if you input the correct data in there, then you get back a result.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the only way they work, and the only thing that can put stuff on are called oracles. So oracles can insert the data onto the app, then the people can vote, And then that's that. Like, it's all just right there tallied by computer so that human error doesn't come into play.
Yeah.
Because human error is one of the worst things that we have on this planet.
Well, yeah, it's also to the point where they can manipulate that shit. To the point where it makes it look like, oh, this is what people do want. And it's really not. You know what I mean? The majority doesn't want that to happen.
That's because you just don't know, yeah. But if you can have a clear consensus.
It definitely gives everybody a voice at the same time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really like, you know. And it shows where people sit at, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, on a subject.
Yeah, no, if that system actually gets implemented.
No matter Republican or Democrat. You know?
No, if that system gets implemented, I think it could clean up the political game in 1 or 2 years.
It definitely could. And you told me didn't you tell me it's starting to get out there? So I pitched it for about a year and a half to the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. Neither one of them wanted anything to do with it. I bet.
And then the Libertarians actually started jumping on board with this. So the Libertarian Party is grabbed a hold of this, and they're wanting to take off with it. So we'll see kind of where it goes. Yeah.
Really? That's interesting.
Very interesting, yeah. But they see the capabilities of it. Because most libertarians, they want less government, right?
Right.
So they see this as a way for the people to regulate the government.
Yeah.
Because we don't have, like, the government's supposed to work for us right now, but there's no way to regulate them, so they're working for themselves.
Exactly.
But if the people had a way to regulate the government, and that's what the libertarians see out of this.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I would actually, I think, like I told you, I don't fuck with the government shit, but I would swipe right or left on some shit just to fucking put my opinion out there.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. Like, it's going to affect your life. Like, right now, you have no say in the shit that affects your life. Even if you go vote, you don't have a clue where your vote's going.
Right. Excuse me.
But if you could actually see it, where it went, boom.
I quit smoking cigarettes recently, and all that shit's trying to come out of me. You know?
Yeah, another cool feature that the app would have is a report card for every politician.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so that come
politician report card.
Oh, bro, yeah. Come election time, all you got to do is pull your phone out, look at your report card for your politicians.
How many bribes did you take this year?
Yeah. One of them has an F. Get them the fuck out.
Who's the cleanest politician of the year?
Yeah, dude.
You made the honor roll, baby.
I mean, and they would honestly, I think you would see the ones, you would see very quickly who wanted to be there and who was just there for the money.
Yeah. I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the people would take over more.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're supposed to be. The people are supposed, and that's why people during like all the stuff that went on during the pandemic, you know what I mean? They were screaming so loud.
Yeah.
And nobody really could do anything about it, you know what I mean? Because it's one side just screaming and doing all kinds of shit, and the other side is like, all right, you want to act the ass? Go act the ass. We'll see what happens at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's basically what was going on. And look where we're at right now. Nothing's really changed.
No.
You know, but the time of the day and the year, nothing really has changed.
Well, see, and the bad thing about social media is, and we're all seeing this right now, is that...
It's gotten worse, really, I think.
Oh, it's definitely gotten worse. But the bad thing about social media is for one, they're censoring certain voices.
Yeah.
And for two, they're taking a small segment of the population and they're amplifying their voices.
That's exactly what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, so I mean, you see that you have people that they assume that there's this huge population of Americans that think a certain way, but they really don't. It's a very small percentage of the population. And I found this with a lot of things. If you come to New Orleans, you'll see that it's a very different city because everyone gets along.
Yeah.
Because no one lets that bullshit, the media get in their way. So, I mean, you have all different races, all different types of people.
Some people do now.
Well, in my experience overall, I have seen way less than here in New Orleans than I have in other countries, other places.
It's not pushed as much here, but the people do have their leans, should I say.
Well, no, that's one reason I like about the bar. Like, if you look at the bar at any point in time, there's every race you could imagine there. There's every gender you could imagine there. And everyone's just getting along. Yeah. That's one of the rules we have at the bar is that anyone can come in there, but you leave the bullshit at the door. Right. Yeah, don't bring the bullshit in here with you. We all come in and we have a good time. Yeah. And everyone who has been there for a while, they regulate that.
And we do.
Yeah, it's regulated by the patrons because if someone comes in and starts bringing the bullshit in there, they immediately, everyone's like, get out. Yeah, well, everyone does. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's such a great community.
Dude, we had a crazy last night talking about he's in the CIA, and the CIA is wondering about comedy, so he's doing CIA jokes, and he looked at me and was like, Pickle, CIA recognizes you as the owner of the bar, and I was like, this dude's fucking batshit crazy. You crazy, dude. You know, he started freaking me out. He's like, I'm O Agent 64. We got 3 other agents around here, and I started spouting off shit. I was like, "Oh, this is mental illness right here." And
who was the dude? Did you know him?
I don't know him. It was the first time I seen him, and Ace, the bartender, was like, "Oh, I kicked him out. I'm kicking him out," and he kept coming back in. And I was like, "Yo, Ace." He's trying to come on stage because he signed up for the open mic. And I'm like, I was going to let him do it. Fuck it. I look at mental illness all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't care. But Ace was like, nah, dog, you got to go. You over here fucking freaking people out with your CIA talk, and we know you're crazy. You're just picking up random beers and cigarettes from off the street and drinking them. Yeah, bro, mental illness, dude. It runs rampant in city limits, you know? And not just our city limits. But yeah, I mean, I used to fucking get shit like that at Lucky's all the time, the mental illness people. But that was crazy last night. I was wild. They come and they go every once in a while. We got a few mental illness problems around, but they're harmless.
But do you think that was harmless. Amplified too by the quarantine?
I could be. You never know, bro. You never know what anybody goes through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was a young white man, and he looked like he should have been doing good, but he looked like maybe he took a bad drug.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of bad drugs going on around out there nowadays, and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You take the wrong fucking drug, you end up dead. You end up fucking mentally fucked for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Talking about you're a CIA agent. Yeah. I'm coming to do your open mic. The CIA is interested in you, Pickle. Please, no, CIA.
Yeah, of all the things to say, like, why go there, bud?
Right. It was trippy, dude. It was trippy.
Yeah, one of the things another thing on the government that I hate is the fact that they do these things, like they quarantine people, but they don't actually think about the repercussions of what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's... You get these people that do have slight mental illnesses, and they get used to a routine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're used to fitting into the life that they have, but then you take it and you just, like, throw a 1080 on them and fucking flip the script. Yeah. Then they're like, what do I do now? So that's when they, like, break out of that rut that they're in, and that's when they go crazy.
Right.
I noticed I had a lot of friends that during that time, they were perfectly fine normally, but they were just, for some reason, when they were alone for that much time, they would get into their head.
Yeah, bro. People, they can't see. I personally like being alone. I think I can sit down and think and plan shit out for a while.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, me too. I love it.
One of my favorite lines, one of my favorite rappers is DMX. And one of my favorite lines is when he says, I can sit in one spot and plot my next move. There's no telling why X do what X do. You know?
Yeah.
I can do that. I can sit in one spot and for hours or days if I need to, and just think about what my next move will be.
But I mean, that's what you're thinking about comedy and stuff like that.
I mean, more life change. Period. You know what I mean? Like when I start going through life changes, that's what I do. I sit down and I reevaluate shit because change is stressful, but I'm used to going through it. You know what I'm saying? So I could sit there and be like, all right, I recognize I'm going through a change right now. I need to step back for a fucking few hours maybe or a day and just sit down, rest, and think about the changes that I'm going through and the route that I want to take with them.
Right.
You know, and not everybody has that ability.
That's the smart way to do it too.
Yeah, you know, it's because I really recognize it when I feel stressed out. When I notice that I'm being stressed out or overwhelmed, I sit down and that's what I've come to recognize.
Have you always done this, or was it something that like happened because of?
I think when I used to be a drug dealer, I used to have a lot of clientele, and it got to the point where they started stressing me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to a point where I couldn't sleep, dude. These motherfuckers on ecstasy used to fucking they used to call you all the time. You know what I mean? Like, they call you all the fucking time because you don't sleep on ecstasy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never really liked taking ecstasy, but I would take one to stay up with my clientele. My thing was cocaine. I loved cocaine. But
it smells so good.
Yeah, it smells so fucking good. Nowadays, it smells like death with all that fentanyl.
True, yeah.
You know, so you got to stay away from shit like that. I don't fuck around with that shit no more. That's the past. But whenever it was like they would call, dude, I remember trying to go to sleep one time, and I used to have the chirp, and I would try to go to sleep at like fucking 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, all right, I'm finally gonna get some rest, and you hear that chirp, chirp. I can't even make a chirp sound. Chirp, chirp, and I would be like, fuck, trying to get the fuck to sleep, bro. I hate you motherfuckers right now. And I think I learned how to step back and reevaluate what I want to do from like that type of situation.
Right.
You know, because stress is a big factor about it. When I feel overwhelmed, I can sit back and be like, all right, fuck you, and you. I will cut y'all the fuck off if y'all are the biggest stress factors in my life and you're not bringing to my life. You're just putting stress on me. I could do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I learned to do that shit.
Well, that's so big when you're talking about growth, too, because in order for a person to grow mentally, they have to apply stress. It's the same way as a muscle. In order to grow a muscle, you must apply stress, and then the muscle grows to accommodate. The mind's the same way. You have to grow, you have to cut people out of your life, and then you can grow the mind to accommodate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apply that stress, cut out what doesn't fit, and then grow.
Yeah.
That's basically what that's a lesson to everyone out there right there.
Hell yeah. Stress yourself out. Then evaluate.
Yeah, I would say stress yourself out, but I mean, like, apply more stress to your life. Take on more than you can.
Yes. Don't stress yourself out over stupid shit. Don't stress yourself out over wearing a fucking mask. Stress yourself out over pushing yourself harder in your field and the way you're going in life.
Yeah.
To grow yourself and find out, like you said, is that where I really want to be in life? Do I really want to fucking be working at a school? You know what I mean? I did that same thing in a restaurant. I was in a restaurant working in the back of the kitchen one morning, and I was like, fuck this place. You know, I started looking up, and I'm like, looking into the sky, and I'm thinking like, man, I got to change my stars. This is what I need to do. I need to change my stars. I'm not going to work in this because working in the kitchen is a whole nother stress level.
Right.
When you work in the kitchen, that's your fucking life, dude. You know what I mean? There's no working in the kitchen and fully doing comedy. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I used to own a grass cutting company before I did stand-up comedy. There's no owning a grass cutting company and you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, then go out every night and till 12 to 2 o'clock in the morning. It's not going to happen. I did it for a year, and it became overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to sit back and really think about what I wanted to do. And that was, I had to stop doing the grass cutting company.
Yeah.
You know? And
not even the schedule you guys run off of now is impressive to me.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to, I had to evaluate what I do with this type of stuff. You know what I mean? I had to sit back and be like, all right, this is the life I'm going to live. I have to my biggest thing is always getting back to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I had a bout of depression last year. I stopped going to the gym properly. And my thing is like, now, okay, I got everything else working in sync. I need to find that fucking space where I can get into the gym every other day or every day.
Yeah.
Like I used to be a gym rat 6 times a week, sometimes 7, and I cut it off.
So that's my morning routine. As soon as I roll out of the bed, I immediately throw headphones in. I take my pre-workout and I go directly to the gym. Even on days that I don't want to be there.
What time do you wake up?
It just depends. Yeah, it depends on what I did the night before. So some nights I stay up and edit nights before, or I stay up and I read and stuff. So depending on when that is, but it doesn't matter what time it is. As soon as I wake up, I go directly to the gym to knock that out, and it puts me in the right space of mind.
Yeah.
And then normally when I'm working out, I'm also meditating at the same time.
Yeah.
I have that's part of my workout routine. But even on days that I don't want to go to the gym, I still wake up and I go in the gym.
Okay.
I walk in the gym. I may pick up a 20-pound weight and put it back down, but that's keeping myself in the routine. Because routines are easily broken. So just like you said, when you got out of your routine, If you would just went to the gym that day you didn't want to go, and you still just walked in there and like you made it to the gym that day.
Right.
Then you turn around and leave. Like you at least went there.
My problem was the gym that I was going to. My ex cheated on me with she worked at the gym, and my ex cheated on me with somebody who was a client at the gym.
Oh, damn.
So if I go to that fucking gym and I see this dude, and when it all came out, I kind of want to bury my fist down his throat.
Right.
So I just kind of fucking stopped going.
No, I think you did the right choice.
I kind of wanted to spit in her face, too. So I just kind of stopped going. You know what I mean? Because she was trying to cover it up so she can keep her job. I was like, fuck you and your job, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you. I just spent my last 5 years of my life with you. And that's what it is. Your friends are more important than the fucking relationship. The person that was going to probably marry you, you ignorant fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your priorities straight, lady. You want to be a piece of shit, go be a piece of shit. But if you want to be in a relationship, that shit's not fucking easy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't make me, I'm already a half crazy motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already fucking psycho, dog. I don't give a fuck, you know? And when you put me in a stressed out situation like that, that's depression came on. I stopped going to the gym. Cycle, boom, 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 drugs, boom, boom, everything.
No, that makes sense then. Yeah, it makes sense the direction. I actually went through a similar experience that my ex didn't work at the gym or anything, but it's like heartbreak and like love are fucking crazy emotions, man. They'll take the strongest people and bring them to their knees.
Yeah. When you really do have love for somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and that love is taken for granted because of things that are going on in that sick person's mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's another whole thing. Like, you got to find somebody that's not that sick.
Well, so, like...
And they don't realize, but they cover it up well.
But you were with this girl for how long?
5 years.
You didn't realize that she was sick in 5 years?
Well, I mean, I realized certain things, you know what I mean? Like, I realized that you give too much of your time to your friends instead of working on yourself.
Right.
And kind of covering that up, working on yourself thing up with being with the friends.
But love also creates blind spots, right?
Yeah, but whenever, see me, I'm the type of person that I would tell people. I will tell you your blind spot. If I see it, and I would do that. I would tell her, and she'd be like, oh, no, damn that. And she'll get mad at me, like anger. I would tell the blind spot, and maybe I didn't say it properly or something.
Right.
But it's received and then thrown back at me as anger. Like, you get angry because I just called you out on your bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Would she do the same to you?
And not really. It did come at me like, oh, my real friends don't do that to me. You know, they don't highlight my bullshit. It's like, no, they're not your real friends.
They're fake, yeah.
Yeah, they're not your real fucking friends. If a real person in your life is gonna point that bullshit out and be like, hey, you need to work on this. This is something that I see. I'm not trying to hurt your emotional, fragile feelings, but you need to work on this because that's not fucking normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when you don't work on yourself, you kind of get yourself into this selfish thing and you do what the fuck you want, and then everything can eventually break down around you. Yeah. Because you just let that shit go. You know what I mean? Yeah. She had a real friend and she overlooked that shit.
Does she, do you still, like, keep up with what she does and stuff?
Fuck
I wonder
no.
I just wonder if she, like, still went downhill or if she, like, still coasting along.
I think she might have got fired from that job.
I mean, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't trying to get her fired or anything like that. Like, I held it off.
She got herself fired.
Right, but the job, like, the gym kept texting me. You know what I mean? Like, I was and I asked them to stop texting me. And then I fucking snapped and was like, hey, I don't want to be a part of people who think it's cool to cheat with people. You know what I'm saying? Please stop fucking texting me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it was cool for you to fucking continue to like, let her work there, whatever. Cool. Do whatever. Keep me out of this shit. I don't want to see nothing to do with none of y'all. But you kept putting it in my face, and I was like, you know what? Fuck her. Fuck her. Hey, y'all want to cheat? Leave me the fuck out of your lives.
Well, I think that's the universe speaking to you right there.
Right.
Like, she put you down on the path you were on, and the gym kept texting you. So it was only a matter of time before you did go, okay, whatever, fuck it.
Yeah, and you know what it is, what it is. I have a beautiful baby boy now with another woman, and it's great. We're in a good place, and everything happens for a reason.
Bro, isn't that crazy right there? How shit does line you up for other things?
Yeah. You know, that baby boy got me on like a rampage of like grind right now. Dog.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm ready to get life.
I mean, I was the same way whenever I went through my little heartbreak or whatever. Like at the time, it didn't seem like it was like, what am I doing, you know?
Yeah.
But as I started building all these like skills, for some reason, like I just started diving into like more skills.
Yeah.
And now I use all those to do everything that I do now.
Hell yeah. You do it well too, bro. You impress the shit out of me.
I appreciate it.
You do, man. You're a great dude, bro. And you work hard. You fucking work hard at everything you do.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. You got any other cool projects you working on?
Like I said, it's a revolving door, man. Like I do logos for a professional gamer. There's someone running for Congress right now that I'm helping brand her.
Might need a logo for Pickles House, bro.
We can do your logo for Pickles House. We got the podcast running. I mean, we do all kind of stuff with the bar. The bar is kind of like my art project in itself.
Yeah.
Everything that comes through there, I get to put a little touch on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's about keeping the mind, this mind right here, going in a direction that is positive.
Forward.
Because I mean, yeah, you can. Anytime that you're a creative person, you can always go the other direction.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah, so that's why I tell a lot of creative people, just keep doing something that's moving you forward.
Yeah, that's a good way to go about this. Mm-hmm. Keep moving forward, baby.
Yeah, no, anybody who wants to follow us, they can follow us on Another Bar Podcast,
okay.
or no, it's just Another Bar NOLA on Instagram. We have Facebook, and then me is Kyle Wigginton.
Kyle Wigginton. You got what do you think was your first artistic, what's the word I'm looking for? Like inspiration. Your first artistic inspiration, whether it be artists, paintings, comics, movie.
Oh, Van Gogh, definitely.
Van Gogh?
Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh, his entire life. I mean, so I guess I would say him first because he was the first one I stumbled across.
Okay.
This guy who can be crazy, but he can also make something that's lived forever. You know, 'cause his paintings he was the first.
Yeah,
you know, he was like
beautiful.
the first amazing, like, crazy person that never got the recognition that he deserved.
Yeah.
But then you also have people like Leonardo Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Like, I love Leonardo Da Vinci because he wasn't just an artist. This man was, he was everything. You know, he wanted, I forget the actual term for it, but it's someone who likes, who studies basically, who's good at everything.
Renaissance man?
Renaissance man, yeah.
Renaissance
yeah,
man.
He had the science down. He had the painting. I mean, he could do anything he wanted. So, I mean, that's kind of where I draw my most inspiration from. I love the fact that Van Gogh was able to take his emotions and create something new and beautiful out of it. I think he just saw the world in a different way. But at the same time, I want to combine art, science, religion. I want to combine it all together like Da Vinci did.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so that's my overall goal in life, is to be able to take everything there is and dwindle it down into a concise method that anyone can digest it.
Okay. Did you go looking for your first piece of arts like that, or they came to you in a way that just maybe you and a girl went to a museum or something?
No, and it wasn't even like a girl thing. I think every time that I've every time that I've grown a lot has been a solo endeavor on my part. Okay. Like I've went through a heartbreak, and then from the heartbreak, I've dove into either learning skills or just learning about the world in general. And from that right there has led me to go inside of myself and discover something about myself every single time.
Okay.
So I think just from the culmination of like those experiences have led me to grow into who I am today. Yeah, so I had nothing. It was just that's who I.
What about your parents? Are they artistic in any kind of way?
So that's a hard question to answer. Like they can build anything. They're artistic in their own ways, which I mean everyone's an artist if you think about it. A banker is an artist of money.
What did your parents do?
My mother's an English teacher.
Okay.
So she can write like nobody's business. Like she can create things out of words that I would only dream of being able to create.
Okay.
And my father, he can basically do anything. Yeah, he is like a warehouse manager, but he can literally build anything you ask him to.
Okay.
Doesn't even need the plans for it. You can just say, hey, man, can you build this?
Like woodworking or just?
Anything. Woodworking, metal, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like if you tell him, if you describe something well enough to him and it's a physical object, he can build it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's good to have a handy dad around.
Well, that's like I said, he can do that with physical objects, and my mother can do it with words.
Yeah.
Like she can craft a story that'll make you cry.
Right.
Right, it's so beautiful. So I grew up with those two, but they never got to truly express themselves artistically because of the fact that they were trying to raise two kids.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I've stayed away from having kids and stuff, is because I feel like if I have a child, I want to do what you do and go into grind mode, right?
Yeah.
But if I don't have these kids to like send me into grind mode, then I can use my abilities to help everyone else around me.
Yeah, that's good.
So essentially, everyone around me is my child, but not in a weird way.
Papa Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I dig that, bro. Like, my parents are artists. You know, I'm a child of hippie artists. I am. My mom's an artist. She's a painter. She taught me. I never really was good at drawing or painting, but she taught me how to do pottery. You know what I mean? And she taught me how to make money and shit. Like, I used to sell cards and pottery and cool stuff. And my dad, he's a luthier, and he's a master of working on wood instruments and shit. So I can work on instruments, but I used to like make boats and like little race cars and stuff like that and sell those bad boys too as a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the artistry's always been with me and my family.
Right.
So it makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense that I became a comic.
That's a very different, yeah.
But it makes sense that I became something artistic.
Right. Well, it's a way to, you developed a voice to express yourself. You just express yourself in a different way than your parents do.
Yeah. And I'm glad.
Yeah, that's why I say everyone on this planet's an artist. They're just an artist in different ways.
Yeah.
A banker's an artist of money. The man who bottles water is an artist of bottling water.
I really wish everybody had a chance to like explore who they are in an artistic way, so they can become that true person that they are.
What makes you think they don't have a chance?
I just think like what we were talking about earlier. People get a job and they get into that matrix. You know what I mean? They're like, this is what life should be. I get a job. I work a 9 to 5. I wake up every day. I got benefits and shit like that. You know, and that's what it is for some people.
But the key to that is I work 9 to 5.
Right.
That means you have that many more hours in the day to pursue something artistically. But there are a lot of people that
they don't think of it like that.
Right.
That's my time. Oh, I'm about to eat and rest.
Yeah.
Or maybe go to the gym, too. That's another thing, you know. I used to fucking work a 9 to 5. I'd be in the gym. And if I wasn't, I was trying to eat healthy or taking care of myself in a different way.
Yeah, it's a tough mindset to break out of, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've always been different, man. I've always just craved learning. Yeah. And I think the thirst for knowledge has just like led me to the path that I'm on. So I don't understand how other people think, because I know that some people don't have that thirst for knowledge.
Right.
I just want to understand. I want to understand everything that's going on in the world.
Right.
But I could see where if you didn't have that and you just like, well, I just wake up and go to work.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and that's what it is. And that, you know what that is? It's draining, dude.
Yeah.
Whenever you do that for so long, it's like you get stuck in that little realm, and it's like, I don't know how to get out of this now. Yeah. You know, you need something to break you out of that. Honestly, what broke me out of it was drugs. Going to jail, getting
drugs,
myself
heartbreak?
in trouble, heartbreak, shit like that.
So I mean, so in that
jail was a big one.
But in that case, like heartbreak would be a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it got you out of your rut.
It put me in a rut too.
Yeah.
It put me in one of the worst ruts I've ever been in, dude. And I'm happy I survived that shit.
Yeah.
Really, because I know now depression can kill. It really can, bro. Maybe I need to do some kind of shit like my buddy Ryan Rogers did, go on tour about mental health.
Oh, is that what his tour was about?
Yeah, through colleges and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like an all sorority girl tour.
Yeah.
You know, he takes white women jobs. He'll take a white woman's job easy. That's the only gay dude I know that can take a job from a white woman.
What?
Yeah, he can. He's gay and shit, you know.
I mean, was this like part of his like act or something?
No, this is just who he is. He will snatch a job from a white woman.
Dude, I love Brian. He's so great. All you guys are freaking amazing.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro. I think that's about what we looking at time. We got 10 minutes? All right. What about, let's see. Let's go deeper in your life, man.
Oh, man. What else do you want to know? I'm an open book.
You did play sports?
I did play sports in college. I feel like
you said basketball earlier.
Here's a fun one you like to hear about is when I first got to New Orleans. So I didn't have a job when I first got to New Orleans.
Okay.
But I knew I was like, I'm a good-looking guy. I just got through modeling for Dillard's.
Yeah.
Like, I was coming right off that. So I walk into the gay bars down here, and I was like, yo, I don't know how to bartend at all. But I was like, if you guys teach me how to bartend, I'll bartend shirtless.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, come on in.
Hell yeah.
So that's how I got my foot in the door there. I worked down at the gay bars for 3 years.
How many gay dudes tried to turn you?
Oh, bro. It was an endless game. Yeah. And one of the things people always, because they would come in, they would offer me money to show them my dick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the price just kept going up and up and up, and I was like,
hello.
Yeah, no, I kept saying
Put a price on that dick pic.
Oh,
baby.
bro, it was. I think it got to $5,000 one day.
Holy fuck! Did
Dude,
you show him?
No.
Why?
No. So this is the thing.
$5,000 out of
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
So you get the balls and everything. Each one, you get the pick, bitch.
So the best example that I have to be able to show people why I never did it was because if you do it once, then you're gonna start dropping the price because it lowers the value of it.
I would have not. I would have been like $5,000, bitch. That's the price. That's where we're at.
Think about the first beer you ever drank. First beer you ever drank, you were like, man, I don't know if I want to drink this beer. But then someone gave it to you, and you're like, okay, now I'll have a beer. The next time someone asked you for a beer, you didn't think about it. You're like, sure, I'll have another beer.
Yeah, kind of. I was a child when I first had a beer. My dad gave me the beer.
Yeah. Well, it's a little different in New Orleans, too. But, I mean, like, if you're doing drugs or something, the first time someone offers you drugs, you're like, I don't know if I should do these drugs or not. But the next time they offer you them, you're like, fuck yeah, give me those drugs.
Right.
Yeah, so
that's the ticket right there, buddy.
So that was my mentality, dude. I was like, if I show that it's for $5,000, then I'll be doing it for $5 in the back back alley next week.
That's a good way to think about it. I'd still caved for $5,000.
Yeah,
I would have caved like a motherfucker. $5,000, well, I ain't gotta work here no more.
That's what I've heard.
That's what I would have been like. I ain't gotta work this bitch no more. I got $5,000. Let's start a business.
Yeah, if the guy was actually gonna give it to me, that's another. Who knows? Yeah.
He could have wrote you a blank check.
He could have, man. So I kept my dick. It wasn't his dick anymore. It's my dick.
It's my dick now. I keep the power of the penis.
Yeah. So that right there led into what I do now, which is but actually that led into.
How long did you do that for?
I did that for 3 years, man. I have stories. Oh my God, like. I was the only straight guy at the bar that I worked at. Mm-hmm. So the other gay guys thought it was hilarious to like show me gay culture. Some things that, I'll just, for instance, they thought one time it would be fun to take me to a sex party. Without telling me they were taking me to a gay sex party. So we walk into this bar. We go upstairs, and this is during Southern Decadence. Southern Decadence is a big gay pride festival down here in New Orleans. Yeah. So we go upstairs at this bar, and as soon as we walk upstairs, we just see two dudes on a pool table just going at it. And everyone in the area that we were in turned around and looked at me like, what's he going to do next? I was like, fucking, let's take shots. I was like, pull it up. Let's do this shit.
Shots.
Oh, bro, we partied hard, yeah. I just kept my head turned away from that. But there's some of the experiences that I've had working down there.
Have you ever had sex in a gay bar?
With a woman, yes.
With a woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have too.
Yeah. I got kicked out of one of the gay bars for having sex.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get kicked out. It only happened once. I pulled this chick out of Boomtown, actually. Mm-hmm. We were at the fucking crap tables. I pulled this chick. Me and my buddy were at the crap tables. Rest in peace. My boy Dustin, bro. Rest in peace, Dustin. We was at the crab tables, and this fucking little thick chick was like, rock. She was rocking with me. And she's like, let's go to the gay bar on Bourbon. And I was like, all right. As soon as we get into the car, I got a titty in my mouth. You know what I mean? And we go over to the gay bar, and I'm like, this is actually not that bad. They got condoms everywhere, so you can not catch a disease and shit like that. And we go, I got her in the bathroom, and it was the only time I've ever had.
Which gay bar were you at?
I don't even remember, dude. Okay. I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Some of those bathrooms are rough.
It was like 15 fucking years. It was a little bitty bathroom, though, and two fat people were in it.
Yeah.
It was a rough fuck, but it happened. You know what I mean? It happened quick, and then we fucking leave. We ended up, my buddies with us, right? But then we found this other street walker chick, some streetwalker chick. We weaseled her way in with my buddy Dustin, And now all 4 of us are going back to Boomtown to get my vehicle. And we get back, and they're like planning to go chill at this girl's house, whatever. I get back, and I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm going home. And they're like, what? You're not chilling with us? I took off work for this. I'm like, well, yeah, good night. Yeah, well, good morning. It was like fucking 7 o'clock in the morning at this point.
Dude, the adventures you get your ass into on Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Just out here in New Orleans, period. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. How'd you get some booty in a gay bar?
Oh, well, which time?
Tell me, pick one. Pick the best one to tell.
So my favorite bar to go to is the Golden Lantern.
Okay.
Because they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I always get off work at the gay bar that I worked at, and we would take the girls that were in the gay bar that were hanging out with us all night down to the Golden Lantern. So one night we were just down there, man, and me and this girl started getting hot and heavy. And the Golden Lantern's a very small bar, and they only have one door to the bathroom. Just in case females do want to come there, it's a single bathroom. And me and this girl slipped in the bathroom, and next thing I know, I was getting knocked. There was knocks on the door.
That might have been the bathroom. I got some booty.
Might have been, yeah.
Might have been.
So yeah, he kicked us out that night, but he's like, you can come back tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, gay bars, they're cool.
Oh, dude, it was a blast.
Fun.
I mean, it was the most fun I've had in New Orleans since I started running this other place, just because the culture down there is amazing. And coming from a small town, I think there was like one gay guy in the entire town that we know of, the only one that came out.
We know of.
Oh, there was definitely more, I'm sure. But, yeah, you're just not exposed to any of that stuff. So when you come down, it's like shell shock in the beginning, but then you realize that, wait a second, these people are just people too.
Right.
And that's what's been my culmination.
My gay friends are the funniest motherfuckers in the world, bro.
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, everyone. That's one thing I was saying about New Orleans is you're exposed to so many different cultures down here and so many different types of people that you realize that everyone's just a human trying to get along in this world too.
Yeah.
That no one is against you. The reason that we actually fear each other is because we don't know each other.
Right.
But when you sit down and get to know someone, you realize they're just another person.
That's right. Love everyone, people.
Love everyone.
That's our podcast today, baby. This has been another episode of Pickles House. You got anything to promote again?
Nah, man. Come to the bar. Another bar on Ferret Street.
Come to the bar. See I got every Tuesday night. You guys come check out the bar. We have a great time, man. We really do. If you want to try comedy, come put your name on the list. I'll give you a chance to try some comedy out, or you can just sit down, have a drink, and watch Pickle do his thing, you know? Get that pH balance in your life. Pickle House. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Subscribe and like, too. Thanks, Kyle.